Yeah, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, great people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world. Welcome to this evening edition of this session where I am going to be navigating, of course, so many things that you see on your screen. We are going to try to wrap it up within 1 hour, 30 minutes, and 2 hours. It is very, very important that we navigate all these things because they are the serious challenge that we are facing, as the people. Of course, you know about how the Nigeria judiciary and its executives are toiling with the people, the indigenous people. So, as you are joining this program on YouTube at Judge Money Blog Africa, subscribe to the video, click the like button for the algorithm to continue to do the sharing. If you are joining at Judge Money Blog on Facebook, at Judge Money Blog TV/TV, rather at Judge Money Official, share the video, follow the page, invite others to join. Very, very important. Of course, ever since the kangaroo court of the Zoological Republic made their pronouncement, their latest pronouncement, I have not said anything about it because I wanted to keep my emotions in check first. Just like millions of Biafrans are angry today, I am also disappointed. But not fully disappointed because I have been skeptical about the Nigeria judiciary. I have been skeptical about the activities of the judiciary. That is the reason why we must do this evening. Of course, this evening we are going to be talking about the kangaroo court you have in the zoo. We are going to be talking about the statement made by Wazurika. We are going to be talking about, we are going to delve into actually what this Janjaweed UCHE said recently. Of course, you know the reason why they are all coming out to speak is that the autopilot infiltrators have failed them and they have no other choice to understand that you cannot beat IPOB. We are fighting a just cause. That is the reason why we will continue to expose, to analyze, and to dot the I's, to make sure that we keep you informed. And of course, you saw the British Parliament on top of it. We are going to be talking about something that they said in their parliament that is very, very important. And we are also going to be talking about the redesigning of the Nigeria money. We are going to be talking about it. And of course, you see there is Kanye West on the other side. There is something that he said that I need to use as a point of contact in my analysis this evening. So I want you, if you are watching on Twitter, because we are live on Twitter, retweet the video and tag every necessary community structures, because we are coming with fire this evening. So, great Biafrans all over the world, I want you to understand that what the kangaroo court gave to us as a judgment, of course, the whole world knows what transpired there. They gave us what is called disappointment. But the reason why I said that I am not completely disappointed is because I never ever had faith in Nigeria judiciary. And having seen that Nigeria will never allow anybody who is competent to, discharge their competency in the position where they are employed to do so. When you discharge your competency as a Nigeria and as a government employee in Nigeria, of course, you will be victimized. You will be transferred. You will be removed. You will be actually be belittled above all. That is the reason why Nigeria judiciary in the appellate court, where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was discharged and acquitted of all the frivolous charges leveled against him by the Nigeria state, they decided that they must actually remove those whom gave the competent judgment that the rules of the court may be, trusted by ordinary people on the ground. The reason why Attorney General of Federation Malami decided that he will override the rule of the court by removing those who made that, who gave that verdict in favor of the innocent man, a freedom fighter, African decolonization activist, Lion of Africa, Hamadike, one of Biafra. It is because he is jealous. Number one. Number two, it is because he knows that Hamadike told him, I will defeat you in your court. And he came back, he defeated him in his court. Instead of him accepting defeat as somebody who represents the rule of law, as somebody who represents, judiciary, he decided to bring his kangaroo style, to bring his Boko Haram style, to bring his Banana Republic style. That is the reason why this guy went ahead removing the judges, the competent judges who pronounced Mazi Nnamdi Kanu a free man. Because these were the people who understand the laws and understand the human rights activities, who understood that there is freedom of speech, there is freedom of expression, there is freedom of divorce. You can divorce anybody that you don't want to be with anymore. Nigeria has been dealing with the indigenous people in the last 6 decades. Nigeria has been dealing with ordinary people on the ground without allowing their voices to be heard. Because what they do all the time is to make sure that they keep every voice that is going to stand up to challenge their criminal activities, their oppression, how they stand up to make sure that voice is silenced. but they can never silence those voices that Chukwuokike Abiama has brought upon Biafrans, has brought upon his children, the Biafrans, which is Ohamadike. If you try to silence him today, believe you me, he has given birth to many voices. So how many of them do you think you can silence? Just that thing brought me to what I said a few days ago. The biggest mistake of the Western world is to kill our prophets, our activists, are those who are making our consciousness to wake up, to challenge this system that is oppressing us. Because when you try to silence that voice, you are actually giving that voice more power to be heard. And that is exactly what this kangaroo court that Attorney General Malami Abubakar set up to actually disqualify the competent judgment that was issued on the 13th of October, 2022. So that is the reason why we must condemn every activities of this individual called Attorney General, regardless. He claimed there was a letter reading to him from the eastern region that the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is a security threat to the, to Nigeria state. I want to ask Attorney General, who is the man who's supposed to make sure that the activities of the court is, protected, that the judgment issued by the court is protected, that the people working in the judiciary is competent, not compromised. They are not supposed to be working based on their own personal, opinion or differences, but they allow themselves to be complicit in discharging their duty. In several occasions, I might not be right, but Attorney General of Federation and his kangaroo judges from Appellate Court of Nigeria should recuse themselves in the case of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu or Hamadike 1 of Biafra land. They should recuse themselves because they are acting out of their complicity. They are not doing what the law says. The law stated that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is discharged and acquitted of all the frivolous charges leveled against him. They applied for stay of execution without actually obeying the pronouncement of the court. They flouted the pronouncement of the court. They were in contempt of court. They went back to the same court. They removed the judges. They placed their own criminals there to make sure that those pronouncements by the Court of Appeal is reversed, to grant them the stay, the stay execution which they requested. Is that not a kangaroo move? I am asking you as a Nigerian. I am asking you as those who are Nigerianists. I am asking you, Devo Mahi. I am asking you, Hope Uzodimma. I am asking you, Peter B, because three of you are actually what the Fulani is using as a weapon on our people. The three of you You cannot deny it. You know exactly what I am talking about. When they talk about the letter written to this incompetent Attorney General of Federation, you two, you three will never say you do not know about those letters written. Now my question is, all these people called Ohaneze Ndi Igbo, all these people who are called the Igbo politicians, Biafran politicians, I am asking you now, does it mean that you guys does not belong in the system that you people are working for? Does it mean that you guys and your opinion does not matter in the system that you guys are working for? Because if your opinion matters, if what you guys are doing is act of, is actually having the sense of belonging in this system that you guys are championing their cause, I believe that it is time for you people to show that you have the sense of belonging in this Nigeria contraption. Because in this case of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, it is actually opening the all of your nyash. It is exposing all of you, from this, elder statesmen to the governors, from the governors to the chairman, from the chairman to Ohaneze Ndi Igbo, to all of these people who call themselves the representatives of Biafrans or the representative of the Eastern region, which has been marginalized under your watch in the last 6 decades. They have been marginalized under your watch. It means that you cannot represent us. You cannot get our own share from the global stage. And that is what triggered the agitation in the Eastern region of this Nigeria contraption. And we are here to challenge you people that Court of Appeal discharged and acquitted one of you who stood up to speak what you cannot do, who stood up to do what you could not do in the last decade, to speak on behalf of the people. You could not speak on behalf of these people in the last decade, but the only man who stood up to do so is suffering in the dungeon of Nigeria. This same dungeon could not hold the terrorist called Boko Haram. These same dungeons could not hold the terrorists called ISWAP. These same dungeons could not hold the terrorists Al-Qaeda in Maghreb. These same dungeon could not hold Fulani bandits and Fulani terrorists. It could not hold many of them. Rather, they get, discharged from their terrorist activities, killing, maiming, displacing, and extrajudiciously destroying and killing communities across Nigeria. This solitary confinement could not hold them. The ones you know that you could not release, you will send them and make, cause a security breach. They will come and release them by themselves. Of course, you know what happened in Kuje prison a few months ago. Because the ones they believe that when they release them, it will raise a lot of alarm. They will cause a security breach and invite those terrorists to come and rescue them by themselves. That is exactly what is happening in Nigeria, and that's what gave the United States the authority to tell you that there is a terrorist threat in your federal capital, Abuja. Imagine that disrespect. Did they discuss it with your Nigeria authority before issuing that report? The answer is no, because they know that you are the one who groomed this terrorist. That is the reason why they did not discuss it with the Nigeria so-called intelligence or the DSS. Rather, they issued the report without even giving you a full details of it. You are old enough to read the handwriting. You are old enough to read in between the lines. Why did the United States issue that proclamation or report without consulting you? Why did they? Because they know you are not interested in the protection of the people. You are not competent enough in protecting your citizens. The only thing you are interested at doing it is to kill, intimidate, to actually stop anybody who is going to rise up to challenge you. And that is why we will not allow you to continue to keep, to shut down every voice or any voice that will rise up to condemn your criminal activities against humanity in Nigeria. So, first of all, I want to go to the voice of this guy. I want to talk about what this guy said. So from here, we will understand what we are facing in this world as a Black nation, as a Black people, and what we supposed to be doing. I want you to listen to this, what he said. I am only going to pick that point. I am not going to go further. Pay attention.
Money by making better food. Because at the end of the day, you want money right now. It's like everyone knows that between the pesticides and between the medical industry, and especially America, that we're keeping people sick. And we know that McDonald's makes food that kills people, and Coca-Cola selling sugar water and all this. Like, just in case I haven't pissed off enough people in power.
Yeah.
Okay. So
you're gonna piss off the sugar anybody that's powered on sugar.
Sugar. Well, Sugar What's the Health was actually a documentary on sugar. It wasn't about how bad meat was. It was like a reverse documentary on sugar. A reverse. Yeah. I don't know if you call it a reverse, like a sub, but if you watch it again, when they show sugar in it, it's just the sugar looks super clean.
Yeah. Just
so as I state these things, I know I have protection. If I have God's protection, that's why I'm here to this date, right? So it's for me to have this platform and express exactly what I feel, because it's kids out there, right? That it's kids that are going to save the world through engineering and through facts. And I've got to download as much of the information and as much of don't be afraid to state your facts is the biggest thing, because the world is being ran by fear. And that is, no, actually God runs the world, but there's just like little cloud, this patina of our ego that deals with the money and the car and the girl we're dating and all this in the clothes you wear and spending too much on clothes and a lot of stuff that I've been involved with promoting. So now what I'm promoting is you have the idea, you say it out loud, like if you had Tourette's, say your truth out loud. If you hate Ye, you hate me, say that out loud. Say whatever you feel out loud. Like you say it non-violently, non-violent.
Now, what I want you to pick up here is that he said he is trying to download as much as he can to the kids, the growing up generation, so that they will not be scared to speak out their truth. If you have that insight, if you have that truth, say it loud without being, afraid of what these people are gonna do to you. Listen to it again. Listen to it again.
Save the world through engineering and through facts. And I've got to download as much of the information and as much of don't be afraid to state your facts is the biggest thing, because the world is being ran by fear.
Now, don't be afraid to state your fact. And that is exactly what Nigeria is trying all their possible best to do with us. For you to be afraid to state your facts because they want to overshadow you with fear and intimidation. They want to keep Mazen Nnamdi Kanu there to see if they will use him as an example to stop the gospel for freedom of expression, gospel for freedom of speech, gospel for freedom of divorce. That is exactly what they are doing, but they can never stop us from airing our view. They can never stop us from speaking our truth loud, and the world must hear us, because we are not speaking something that never happened to us. We are talking about the things that has happened to us, and we do not want these things to continue to happen to us. That is the reason why we have risen up to continue to actually say it out, that the generation that is growing up will not be silent like we did very many years ago. That is the reason why our problem were prolonged to this extent. That brings you to the adage that says, "Mili doneju dolwankita." No matter how much that dog rejects that water in that bowl for him, whenever he is thirsty, it will go back there and drink that water. So what you are prolonging, trying to say, no, I cannot speak, I cannot speak, you are actually shutting down your life. You are actually shutting down your generation, because if you keep your mouth shut, you keep your life shut. That is the reason why the Bible says, if you are so scared to lose your life, if you are fighting to protect your life, you lose it. If you are bold enough to stand up to challenge anything that is challenging you, that means you will live long. Regardless of whether your life is cut short, you are actually, your teaching, your testimonies continue to live on. That is most important thing that we need to instill on our children. You cannot be suffering and smiling. You cannot see things that is not working. You continue to nurture them. You continue to recycle things that will never work for you, just to please people that you believe that they are, they are your boogeymen. You are scared of them. It is no longer the time to be scared of human being, because human being can only kill your flesh. They will never kill your spirit. You should be asking the Western world how far. They have killed so many of our prophets. Did they kill the message? The answer is no. Their message still live on. That is the reason why you, as a governor, you as Ohaneze, you as a representative of the Eastern region of Biafra people, you are keeping quiet, because you see that what Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has been preaching over the years is going to actually take out this, that criminality, take you away from criminality and bring you your consciousness to working for people. And that is the things that you fear the most. And that is the reason why you cannot stand up to actually make your children proud for the first time. Because I know. If all of you who are so-called representative of Ndibo on the Biafra stand up today and demand for the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, he will be released, because the imposter in Asorok from Sudan, whom their family is collecting 50% oil, profit that you sell in Nigeria, is now, first of all, your elder statesmen went there to plead with him to release their innocent own. And for the first, from the first instance, I don't know the reason why you need to plead with people to release an innocent man. The people that are actually committing their atrocities with impunity. People who made a mask and wear from somebody from Sudan and make them your president is the same people you go and kneel down for and ask them to release your innocent child. It does not make sense. That is the reason why they will continue to take advantage of you, because you are not seeing what we are seeing, because you are clouded by, your positions and the favors and the protection these Fulanis are giving to you. That is the reason why you cannot stand up. You cannot actually stand your ground and say enough is enough. This injustice is becoming too much. We cannot bear it anymore. Release our son, because you are releasing the terrorists. And according to Buhari, the attack on Boko Haram is an attack on the people of the North. So you are releasing these people of the North who are killing people, who are taking over villages that doesn't belong to them, who are taking over lands that does not belong to them. But the man that speak up against all these atrocities with impunity, you have not actually, from your own clan, you have not risen up to say no. You are holding this man because he is speaking the truth. So release him with immediate effect. Otherwise, you divide the country and let us go our separate ways. Because the first place, from the first instance, the reason why there is agitation is marginalization, intimidation, and extrajudicial killings on our people. That is the reason why this agitation was given birth to. And you cannot say you are not seeing everything as it is unfolding. You are seeing everything. You just chose to be quiet. Now, let me go to what Wazurika said, because I want to be making this, short, making these things short.
Good morning.
Let us listen to Wazurika. Of course, for those of you who does not know Wazurika has been the enemy of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Wazurika has been the rival of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Wazurika has done everything to intimidate and bring down Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. That is the same man you are seeing on your screen. But today, the same Wazurika now have seen that of orufulebe jimbazwenyi oru ibia. He does not know how his faith is going to be. So he has to rise up and speak some senses. So that is the same Wazurika, as so many of you may know. Those who does not understand that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is innocent. This man you see here is Mazen Nnamdi Kanu brother. When I say brother, all Biafrans are brothers. They are family. That is the reason why we call IPOB one family. Now, this man does not like Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, but for the first time, because even a blind person could see the activities of this Fulani. Even your enemy will understand that this one, Feloke or Bolala. That is exactly the reason why this man rose up to actually condemn the activities of this imposter in Asorok and his Attorney General. Now let us go and listen to what he has to say. Pay attention. For the first time that he said ever mentioned something that I can say is reasonable. Listen.
Good morning, everyone. Just a few days ago, there was jubilation in the southeast that the Court of Appeal in Abuja granted the release of Nnamdi Kanu. Everybody was happy. There was jubilation. But yesterday, we heard again that the federal government coerced the justices of the Supreme Court to resign their decision and grant a stay of execution on their own verdict. You begin to ask, what does the government want? A government should want what makes their people happy. They should want the happiness of the people. That window of opportunity to make peace in the southeast. So many people today are kidnapping people in the southeast on grounds of the fact that Nnamdi Kanu was detained or is detained. Killing people, saying that they are doing it for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. And the Court of Appeal kept that window of peace. And the federal government is truncating from the Court of Appeal to the Supreme Court. To do what?
Ask them.
To show power and authority. By going to Kenya to bring somebody to Nigeria is enough. It's enough authority, it's enough power. We see, it's enough power for people to believe that you have the capacity. By keeping him for more than 1 year, it's enough to show power. What else do you want? This amounts to killing the ant with a sledgehammer. Look at the alert in Abuja today. Security alert. Is it caused by Nnamdi Kanu?
Okay.
But you know the people. And these people you know are the people you are placating. You are releasing in their hundreds. Enlisting in the army, police, and other security agencies. Then this individual from the southeast, you want to annihilate him. And this tends to justify our clamor for Biafra. Otherwise, why should we be releasing Boko Haram members
Good question.
and detaining an individual, a superior court, like a court of appeal, released? What justification?
Okay.
Because he's an Igbo man. Is it not true? Is there any other thing? Each day I feel so happy that I started this thing in 1999 to educate our people that we are not safe in Nigeria. And you try to justify it. What has Nnamdi Kanu done that Boko Haram people have not done? We are not interested in your...
For a correction purpose, there is no way you can compare Mazen Nnamdi Kanu with Boko Haram. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is only speaking the truth. Boko Haram are there killing people, taking villages, destroying lives and livelihood, and that are invading other people's space. That is the what Boko Haram have done. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was only behind the mic, just like I am, preaching and teaching our people how to stand their ground to challenge the system that is killing them extrajudiciously. That is his only crime. And it is not even a crime in international communities. It is not a crime in any constitution around the world, because what he was preaching was actually, he is discharging his freedom of expression, freedom of speech. That is secessionist. It is not a crime. You can wake up today and say, I do not belong to my surname anymore. You change your surname, do newspaper publication. That's it. So why do you want to force people to belong with you when you don't even like them? When you treat them less than an animal? So in my own correction, there is nothing that is comparable between Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and Boko Haram or the terrorists. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is a freedom fighter, African decolonization activist. Boko Haram is a terrorist. And they are being released without even taken to court. They are being released on a daily basis to go out there to continue to do their Boko Haraming. They held Mazen Nnamdi Kanu because he's an Igbo man. And you Igbo people cannot do anything about it. You can't do anything about it. They are telling you that you are nothing. That they decide what happens with you. They decide when you have to leave. They decide when you want to eat. They decide everything that is good that will come to you. They decide it. They short-lifted the happiness and joy, the occasions that people, all this happiness that came from on October 13th, 2022, they actually shoplifted it. They actually carried it short to make sure it does not stand, because they do not want anything to bring happiness, to bring joy, to actually bring peace in the eastern region, because just like they have groomed the terrorists that is ravaging their northern region, they want to actually sabotage the eastern region to be worse than the northern region. That is the reason why they actually made sure that they stopped that happiness of the people immediately when Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was discharged and acquitted. And I want to ask all these people who so-call themselves our representatives, are you not seeing what is happening? They don't want you to have peace. All of you have not spoken, or you are so apologetic in your own, speech. Because I have never seen any of you who is objective in their own speech with regards to this injustice, with regards to changing the appeal court judges. If you believe that the appeal court judges did not get it right, you present them with a solid evidence and tell them that this is the reason why we do not want this man to be released, not to remove the judges and replace them with your own kangaroo judges who are acting upon, conflict of interest. Now you replace them and tell them what to do, and they carried it out the same way. Going to even Supreme Court, it is actually, I believe it's a waste of time. There is no judiciary in Nigeria. Nigeria does not practice justice. Nigeria does not have justice system. They don't have judiciary. It does not work. It is just there for fancy, for decoration, for people, for waste of time. Of course, the whole world, you have seen it, that Nigeria judiciary is just a waste of time. Because when they speak, the executive overrides. When they issue verdict, the executive overrides. The executive that does not even know the constitution of the country, but the judiciary are supposed to be the ones that make sure that human rights is protected under the constitution of the nation. Now, the executive that does not have anything knowledge about the constitution and the right of human and the right of individuals will come to interfere with the order of court and now install their own people to make a decision or pronouncement that will work in their favor. I am going to tell you the things that is ravaging and plaguing Nigeria, the things that are plaguing you in that zoological republic. I am going to bring your mind to it. Let us finish this one.
Kangaroo, Court of Appeal, and Supreme Court judgments. You are going to a Supreme Court. Obviously, we know what you will get. Because you have already started coercing the justices.
Correct.
By redeploying them, posting them to other stations, insulting them. This conduct of the federal government is very undignifying.
Of course.
Very undignifying. It tries to increase the insecurity in the Southeast.
Exactly.
Every Monday now, people say
this is an evidence to show that he's a Biafran blood. He is not mixed blood, because this comes as a network to him. When the real spirit of Biafra enters him, he speaks positively. When he departs from him, he starts championing his hotel. But this is the spirit of Biafra speaking through him, because it is speaking sense and a whole lot of it. And I applaud him for speaking out, because even the governors have not come out to speak this way. They have not come out to speak this way. They are apologetic when they speak. They want to be begging for their own right instead of standing up to demand for their right. That's what makes them a coward. When you hear those people speaking, making some comment, you will know that he's a coward speaking, but he was once a lion. It has clicked in. He is speaking like a Biafran. When he begins to speak like a hotelier, we will tell you as well. Because the most important thing the book of Isaiah say, he said, you must show the people their transgression, speak out, and you show the people their transgression. And that's what we are doing. What we are doing is actually biblical. The book of Isaiah, I believe, is Isaiah 50. You read it from verse 1. That is exactly what we are doing. Let us continue.
even when you ask them to go to their normal businesses, they stay at home for fear. How are you helping matters as a government? You said Nnamdi Kanu did this, did that, did that. Granted, but not conceding. What about members of the Boko Haram you are releasing? Are they innocent?
Correct.
Why are you releasing them if you cannot release this one? I'm tired of all this nonsense because you see, when the government is safe, it's the cause of insecurity. What
Correct.
do you get? What do you think? Please, all we want in the South is
the government is a cause of insecurity across the Nigeria. They know that the insecurity they started in the north, they cannot control it anymore. That is the reason why they wanted to touch base with the ground of the, the east. Sorry, the insecurity they started in the north, they cannot control it anymore. Now they want that insecurity to touch base with the east. And that is what they are waiting for it to escalate. Because they have planted their criminals to make sure that they continue to propose things that will trigger a serious killing in our land, serious desecration of our land. And we are defeating all of them. And that is the reason why they are trying to buy themselves more time to continue doing what they are doing.
This is the release of Nnamdi Kanu for now, for peace to reign. Ohanese officials have gone to Abuja to beg.
They are not supposed to go to beg. They're supposed to go to demand. I keep saying it, when you begin to beg those whom you have not offended in any means or form, they will continue to act like you have offended them. That is the reason why you cannot beg those who offended you and claiming that you have offended them. You can never open, if you open your mouth to beg them, they will see you as a guilty party. You need to rise up and demand for the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. That's the only way it is going to be done. Just like Wazurika is saying today, that is how I expect all these people who are actually claiming that they are, supporting Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Not those who will come and they will talk, beat around the bush, go back and write a letter. No, that's not the type of people. That is the reason why anybody who comes to start actually beating around the bush, releasing Nnamdi Kanu, this and that, you should see that person as a suspect. They should rise up and demand, because the court of law has discharged and acquitted him. So if you are still going to say you are going to kneel down or beg the authority, it means that there is something wrong with you. You are being pathetic. And I hold no apology to you when I am addressing your, failure or your cowardice. Do you know what it means to stand up for your right? Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. That's what I expect y'all to do. You stand up and actually stand up for your right, because you are making your upcoming generation a coward. How are they going to stand up in the global stage to actually challenge their boogeyman? How will they stand up in the global stage to actually fight for their own right if you cannot do it and actually make them learn that you are not a coward? That's all I am asking for from all of you.
No answer from federal government. No positive answer. Wazurika Amaechi, an elder statesman, 90-something years, begged. No positive answer. Many people, many prominent Igbo leaders, you say you want legal solution, no political solution. Then the legal solution came. You don't want to obey it. You don't want to do it. You want to undermine the Igbo man and the Igbo tribe. It will fetch you nothing. It will not frighten anybody. Rather, it is justifying our position that we want to stay on our own, because we are not allowed to stay in Nigeria with others. That's how it is. And if you think that your actions can intimidate anybody, nonsense. It cannot. Get 2 million judgments from the Supreme Court. You are only making a caricature of yourself as
Correct.
a government. Nothing better. We are not afraid.
You were once a comrade, a lion.
Just release Nnamdi Kanu. That's the much I know. And that's what we want in the Southeast. We know what you are doing, the games you are playing. We pretend that if we don't know, we know, but we are watching. Thank you.
When a Biafran speak, you will understand exactly what they are saying. They make their, pronouncement and they make their demand. That is exactly what you just saw here. Regardless of what he is been doing, regardless of all his selfish decisions, when you see somebody who bears that bloodline, when they speak in the time of problem, you will know that there is still that blood in them. That is what you just heard or saw from this man. It is not enough for me to actually trust him or respect him the way I used to. It is not enough. You defiled and you betrayed your comrades and your struggle. We don't forgive. We don't forget. But nkonyeme sitoya. So I applaud you for this one. So let us move on. As we are saying, you know, that these so-called politicians should stand up and speak. I believe if 3 or 4 governors, Ohaneze Ndibo, stand up and speak like this guy here, I believe something will happen. But they don't want to speak up. Do you know the reason why all these governors and the Ohaneze and all of them are not speaking up? Rather, they are very, very apologetic when they speak. The only reason why they are doing it is because they know they have, they have done something, 1 or 2. I want you to understand what is going on in America. It brings me back to what this Kenya West said in his interview. He said that the only reason why so many people are being actually flaunted, so many artists in the United States, it is when you have committed a crime, like you have killed somebody. They protect you. The recording labels, they will protect you. The music industry, they will protect you. And they will actually present you in front, making use of you, because they know that anytime you rise up to actually challenge them, they will remind you of whom you have killed in the past. So they are holding it as a leverage while actually making you to sell, because they know you will never gain a ground to challenge them tomorrow. That is exactly what is going on in Nigeria today. All your governors, all your politicians, they have done 1 or 2. That Fulani have it as a leverage against them. That is the reason why they cannot stand up to actually challenge these people and their activities against their people, which they claim they are representing. Peter Obi have not spoken. You have not spoken. If you have not spoken about the order of court, that means there is something about you that we need to actually bring to light. It means that if you cannot rise up to challenge the disobedient towards the justice system, the disobedient or flouting of the order of court, contempt of court by the Attorney General, it means that you are a tool that Fulani is going to use to actually enslave the eastern region of Nigeria. And that is exactly what I am going to see. Who wrote the letter to Attorney General Malami? Who wrote that letter? Because immediately when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was discharged and acquitted, I am going to actually tell you this 1 or 2. I'm going to, actually beat around it. Then you will decide by yourself who could be the potential writer of that letter. Number 1, when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was discharged and acquitted by the court of law, you know what happened? What happened is that the Northern Obedient stood up and said that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was released so that he will destroy the peace and the unity of Nigeria. You know, now it is reminding me that after all that, the northern Nigeria standing up to stand up, standing up for P2B, claiming that it is going to ruin the activities of P2B, that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will come out now and will start wanting Biafra, and which is going to ruin the activities of their boy P2B, which they have actually presented there to, actually enslave the Igbo more. Because when I heard that, it reminded me that there is something about this obedient movement that people need to find out about. There is something about them. If Catriona Lang is actually backing up obedient movement, if Catriona Lang is actually, pushing for obedient movement, there is something very, very important we need to find out about obedient movement, because something, our problem is that, wherever the wind blow us go, we go there. We don't ask questions, we don't do investigation, because what we are asking now, who wrote that letter? Because immediately Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was discharged and acquitted. You know what happened? Obedient movement in the north, they started shouting, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will now come out to destroy the country again. They will come out to now start demanding for Biafra. He will come out to start dividing the country. All of a sudden, things started changing like that. All of a sudden, letter was received by Attorney General. All of a sudden, who wrote the letter that was received? When the northern who sent Obi started lamenting immediately. If Obi did not write that letter, I want you, Obi, you come out and actually stand up against the intimidation on the justice system, the slap on the face of the judiciary, that you are going to be there and the judiciary must be standing on their own. You need to show us that, you need to show the Nigerians, if there is Nigeria in 2023, you need to show them or prove to them that you are going to be the man that will make the three arms of government functional. Is that not part of, rejuvenating the one Nigeria? You need to now, it is time for you to rise up, challenge the decision of Attorney General and his cabal. If you never wrote the letter, if you keep quiet, if Peter Obi keeps quiet in this regard, it means that he is the one who wrote the letter. I am telling you honestly, if he keeps quiet, having seen the activities of this Malami, it means that he is the one who wrote the letter, because his people from the north were not happy that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is being released. Yet they are clamoring for P2B. And you people who are actually, seeing these people as your sympathizers, you are not realizing that these people are actually trying to use one of you to destroy you. Why would a reasonable human being in Nigeria, with the condition of Nigeria now, insecurity everywhere, and uprising everywhere, and they could see the handwriting on the wall, they could see that the people that are in power are destroying the country, burning it down to the zero. The only man who stood up to challenge it and their activities is being held, unlawfully in the DSS solitary confinement. So now, if you have seen these things and somebody stood up to say that it will now hinder obedient movement, it will now hinder obedient movement. If you are sincere in your cause, Do you need to suffer somebody in order to achieve your goal? First of all, you claim you want to bring equity, fairness, and justice in Nigeria, and you want to unify Nigeria as obedient movement, and your people want to use somebody as a sacrifice. Your person, somebody that if there is eventually 2023, you come up, people, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is 1 out of a million. If Fulani stand up tomorrow to challenge you, if Fulani stand up tomorrow to intimidate you, I know Ohamadike will stand up for you because you are a Biafran and he is the man who could stand up for you. Asare Dokubo is where he is. Now, now saying he support Tinubu. If you win that election, he will chase you by himself. You know, that is it. Have anything been done against him? No. Did the obedient movement stand up to challenge Asare Dokubo? Did the Northern obedient movement stand up to challenge Asare Dokubo? The answer is no. But Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is your problem. And you and your Northern friends, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu became your problem. If you do not rise up, you know, I give you expo. I give you actually, you know, a lot of information. If you do not rise up, if I did not call for your attention for flood, you will not go and see to the people who were suffering from this flood. You went, and that is okay. But this one is something that must be done. You cannot undermine it. This is injustice. You are doing your political campaign, right? You need to fight against injustice because what you fight against is what you are going to promote. If eventually you become a leader, if you are indeed what you think, you know, you say you are, you rise up and challenge these kangaroo court activities. Rise up and challenge these kangaroo court activities because you people will always use Igbo. Igbo presidency, kunu wele aje zalafa by leaving us in the dark as Igbo. Not in this era of awakening. We have woken up. We're not going back to sleep. So it is this time that you need to prove you did not write that letter. I'm putting it as a challenge to you, obedient. If you did not write that letter that Malami claimed that he received from the East, I don't want to talk about Hope Uzodimma. I don't want to talk about Devil Omahi. All these people are criminals, demons, parading themselves as human beings in human form, based in the sheep clothing. These are those people. So between the three of these people, if there was indeed a letter that was written, one of them wrote that letter. Now, for you, obedient to exonerate yourself, you must condemn the activities of this Malami publicly. If you condemn it, it does not mean that you are fighting for Biafra, right? If you condemn it, it means that you are actually promoting the rule of law to continue to uphold, that you are protecting the rule of law, the judiciary, which is one of the arms of government that's supposed to be independent, right? So, if you don't, Biafrans know the answer. So, now I want to tell you the real things that is plaguing them in the zoo. The things that are plaguing you in the zoo, it is called your history. It is your history that is actually plaguing you in that zoological republic called Nigeria. History. Lack of political will. That is what is plaguing you in Nigeria. Lack of political will from your political leaders and your history. Let me now remind you of that history. There is a historic, there is a historic challenges that has been, the problem of these three ethnicity in Nigeria, which was the reason why when the amalgamation in the last century was about to take place, they speak, the comment by the Lord Lugard, he said, let us mix oil and water and find out how they are going to actually mix. Let us experiment in mixing oil and water and see how it is going to be. So when they call it oil and water, you understand that there is no flipping way that oil and water is going to come together and form one liquid. It is not possible. Oil is not soluble to water, or oil is neither soluble to water nor water soluble to oil. It is not possible. None of them is soluble to each other. That is the most important thing. And when they are not soluble to each other, it means that they are different species that cannot be together. Now, why then did somebody force you to be together? And because they know your history, and your history is a history, you guys can never, your ethnicity differences, which is what we call diversity. Your ways of doing things, your culture, everything about you is quite different from one another, and you see the other one as a pagan, infidel. Since me and you, I see you as infidel, you see me as a pagan. How then do you think that we will be able to trust me and you to do things together? It is not possible, because you are seeing me as somebody who is not holy, who is very sinful. I am seeing you as somebody who is very sinful. Now somebody saw this and took advantage of it and said, let's bring these people together. And we will continue to tell them that your diversity is your strength. And when they continue to tell you that, that is the reason why they tell you, arise, O compatriot. And they tell you that to serve our father's land. With what? Which is Nigeria your father's land? What made Nigeria your father's land? Historically, is there anything called the nigger area? There is nothing. So what is your father's land? That is when it talks about that history. And they tell you to do, your motto is peace and unity. Peace and unity. Why do you preach peace and unity when you're supposed to be preaching, freedom or whatever, freedom or something else? Peace and unity that you are preaching, the reason why it is in your motto, it is because this peace is something that they know it will never happen. That is the reason why they put it there, so that you will continue to pray. Peace and unity. We are praying for peace and unity in Nigeria. We are praying for peace and unity in Nigeria. Other people are praying for growth. Other people are praying for transition. From this, type of energy to green energy, people are going to nuclear power. People are transitioning into 4IR development. You are praying for peace and unity, and you will continue to pray for peace and unity, because it can never be peace. Because from the origin, from the history, the reason why they brought you together is because they know there can never be peace. That is the reason why they call one part oil, they call the other water, and they want to mix it together. They are not soluble to each other, and they can never be soluble to each other. What do I mean? Is that they can never be compatible to each other. No. And that is the reason why Lord Lugard did what he did, just to make you people to be carried away, fighting, intimidating one another while they are busy exploiting and stealing millions and millions of barrels of your oil and other resources that you find in Nigeria, without nobody will stand up together and ask them, what is the meaning of this? Because they know united you stand, divided you fall. And I will explain to you what that means. When we talk about united you stand, divided you fall, it is about when you know that these people, this group of people, they love each other. And when you bring those people who love each other and unite them, they stand. And you bring those other group that love themselves, you unite them with themselves, they stand. And now you bring two of them together. That is dividing two of them, because now these people don't love the other one don't love the other one, and now you will be fighting, because that is division. Had they left you the way God placed you, it is called unity, because you will be on your own. You will not cross my territory to come and tell me what to do. In my territory, we are in unity. In your territory, you are in unity. All you need to do, that trading agreement, that is the unity you need between each other. You create a bilateral relationship with each other. Have a free trade, which is what we used to practice in Africa, trade by barter. That is the meaning of a free trade. Africa free trade, trade by barter. It is a free trade. Now, if these people allowed you to be the way you were, allow Fulani and Hausa and all these people who love themselves to be the way they are, then we come to the market, we unite, we do our businesses, we go our go, you go your own, I go my own. If I'm in my border and scream for you, I say bye-bye, you are my friends. That's how it was supposed to be. But bringing you together to make you fight and hate each other, each and every day you continue to fight and hate each other. In that regard, you will never have time to see what is chasing after you, because you have time to look for what will make Fulani to be in the power indefinitely. And Ndi Igbo will stand up to say, what will make us to be in power indefinitely? And the Yorubas will be stand up to say, what will make Yorubas to be in the power indefinitely? That is what everybody is going to be fighting for. And now the people who have the gun given to them by the Britain, by the colonial master, by the amalgamator, now who is powerful will now take advantage and start intimidating the rest of you in order to make sure they hold that power indefinitely. And today we have risen up. We are speaking. We are called a miscreant. We are called a terrorist. We are called criminals. We are called all sort of names because we have risen up to challenge this boogeyman that set up a structure that is killing and making us run away from this, our homes, making us run away from our lands, just because they are killing us, just because they are making life very difficult for us. Now there is nothing we can do. That so many of our young people are ending up in committing crimes because there is no opportunity given to them. There is nothing that is made available for them to actually succeed. But the people who gave you your structure that you are championing today, let me bring to you how they scrutinize their leaders. When we stand up to challenge you, you call us miscreant. The Britain who created you, who gave you your, who gave you your power, who gave you your, who gave you your structure, who gave you your initiative, because you do not have your own initiative. You must work according to the initiative of this Britain who created you. Now, which is making you to be going down every day, you can never ever succeed, because you are not even sincere to yourselves. Let us listen to see how they scrutinize their leaders, how they question their leaders, how they actually tell their leader off without their leader getting angry. But Nigeria got angry. That's why they went and go extraordinary rendition Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, because he stood up to challenge the leadership, just like this that I am showing you. Pay attention.
Damage the furniture. Cheering by all means, but don't damage. Come on.
Mr. Speaker, this morning I had meetings with ministerial colleagues and others. In addition to my duties in this House, I shall have further such meetings later today.
I'd like to congratulate the Prime Minister on his new post, and indeed as being the first Prime Minister of a South Asian heritage, which will be a cause of great pride among many of my constituents. I also have some pride in welcoming a fellow Saints Southampton supporter into number 10. During his prime ministerial campaigns, the last prime ministerial campaign he ran, he pledged to prohibit any development of onshore wind, which is now the cheapest form of power available to us in the country. Now he is Prime Minister. Will he change his mind on that point?
Prime Minister.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I thank the honourable gentleman for his kind words and look forward to seeing him at St Mary's. Although I know my friend, the Leader of the House, may have something to say about our love of saints. Look, when it comes to energy policy, I stick by what we said in our manifesto, Mr. Speaker. The important thing is, though, to focus on our long-term energy security. That means more renewables, more offshore wind, and indeed more nuclear. That's what this government will deliver.
I'm surprised, Mr. Speaker, to be asking a question, and I know you're shocked, Mr. Speaker, too, because I know that you, like many people, thought I would have already been offered a ministerial post.
Let me tell you, I didn't hold my breath. Philip Davis.
Go figure, as Joe Biden might say. Can I congratulate my right honourable friend on becoming Prime Minister? He's absolutely the right person for the job, and I wish him every success in post, and as he knows, he's got my full support. His two immediate predecessors made levelling up a key part of their agenda. Would he reaffirm his commitment to levelling up and start, as he means to go on, by approving the levelling up fund bid for Bingley in my constituency?
Well, I'm grateful to my honourable friend for his warm remarks. I can confirm he must be the only person, Mr. Speaker, who texted me to say that he did not want a job in the last 24 hours. But I can give him my cast iron commitment to levelling up, particularly in Yorkshire, which he and I share. Obviously, he'll know I can't comment on individual bids, but by the end of the year, an announcement is expected on the success, and I wish him every luck with that.
Let's come to the Leader of the Opposition, Keir Starmer.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and may I welcome the Prime Minister, the first British Asian Prime Minister.
Now listen and listen attentively. What is going to go through now, and see if there is any of you who have that, who have that courage to actually scrutinize your leaders in that regard. This is Britain who created you. This is Britain who built your structure that you are living upon. You cannot even emulate from them. You cannot learn from them, from the way they are doing their own things. They just gave you this structure, you just bend to it. You don't want to actually revolt against it. You don't even want to make a change on it. You just sat there because you are a black man. Now look at the way they are doing their own. Freedom of speech, freedom of expression. This is the epitome of it. Watch how this man is going to actually tell this prime minister off. Pay attention.
Is a significant moment in our national story. And it's a reminder that for all the challenges we face as a country, Britain is a place where people of all races and all beliefs can fulfil their dreams. That's not true in every country, and many didn't think that they would live to see the day when it would be true here. It's part of what makes us all so proud to be British. Was his Home Secretary right to resign last week for a breach of security?
Prime Minister. Well, Mr. Speaker, can I thank the honourable gentleman for his kind and indeed generous welcome to the dispatch box. I look forward to Prime Minister's question time with him, and I know that we will have, no doubt, robust exchanges, but I hope that they can also be serious and grown up. So I look forward to it. Well, he asked about the Home Secretary. The Home Secretary made an error of judgment, but she recognised that. She raised the matter and she accepted her mistake. And that's why I was delighted to welcome back into a united cabinet that brings experience and stability to the heart of government. And let me tell you, Mr. Speaker, what the Home Secretary will be focused on. She'll be focused on cracking down on criminals, on defending our borders, while the party opposite remains soft on crime and in favour of unlimited immigration.
Mr. Speaker, yesterday the Prime Minister stood on the steps of Downing Street and promised integrity, professionalism and accountability. But then, with his first act, he appointed a Home Secretary who was sacked by his predecessor a week ago for deliberately pinging around sensitive Home Office documents from her personal account. Far from soft on crime, I ran the Crown Prosecution Service for 5 years. I worked with Home Secretaries to take on terrorists and serious organised crime. And I know firsthand how important it is that we have a Home Secretary whose integrity and professionalism are beyond question. So, have officials raised concerns about his decision to appoint her?
Mr. Speaker, I just addressed the issue with the Home Secretary, but he talked about fighting crime. I would hope, Mr. Speaker, I would hope that he would welcome. I would hope that as we look forward, he would welcome the news today that there are over 15,000 new police officers on our street. And the Home Secretary will be supporting them to tackle burglaries. While the party opposite will be backing the lunatic protesting fringe that are stopping working people going about their lives.
Yes, Starmer.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I listened carefully. That was clearly not a no. We can all see what's happened here. He's so weak, he's done a grubby deal, trading national security because he was scared to lose another leadership election. There's a new Tory at the top, but as always with them, party first, country second. Yesterday, on the steps of Downing Street, he also admitted what the whole country knows. The Tories have crashed the economy, and now somebody has to pay for their mess. I say it shouldn't be working people who've been hammered time and again by this lot, but those with the broadest shoulders must step up. Does he agree?
No. Well, Mr. Speaker, the honourable gentleman talked about party first and country second. Perhaps he could explain to us why it was a few years ago he was supporting the member for Islington North. Mr. Speaker, my record is clear. when times are difficult in this country. I will always protect the most vulnerable. That is the values of our compassionate party. We did
3
going to restore economic stability.
changes that he made to those funding formulas. Wells, boasting to a group of Tory members that he personally moved money away from deprived areas to wealthy places instead. Rather than apologise or pretend that he meant something else, why doesn't he now do the right thing and undo the changes that he made to those funding formulas?
Let's leave it here. I want, the reason why I played it, I want you to understand, actually, to see. Did you see how they are, challenging him, scrutinizing him, exposing him? He has to defend himself. How many times do you see it in Nigeria? 0. You don't. He is already a prime minister. He's not just campaigning like Peter Obi. He's not campaigning to be a prime minister. He's already a prime minister. They show you how equity works. That is exactly what you are seeing in their government. But your own government, oh, some people are so scared to tell president. Even people are so scared to tell our attorney general. Attorney general, governors are scared to challenge his criminal activities. Is that not an irony? You are so scared to challenge his criminal activities. Is that not an irony? Although don't you see that as a criminal activities? Okay. Now, there is something that, let me see if we have. So, coming back to the things that is plaguing you in that zoological republic called Nigeria. Now, I want you to know that history that I just told you, the history that led us now to go back to those who gave you this amalgamation, and the structure that you are using, that history that I told you, which is number one thing that is actually plaguing you, and the things that these people, they have caused for themselves by killing Biafrans. That is number 2. Number 3 is, number 3 things that is actually plaguing you in that zoological republic called Nigeria. It is something. Let me give you an example of it. Let me give you a typical example of it. It is what you saw, that those your political leaders, they do not have the political will. Because the structure that is built to actually protect those who have the gun, promote those who are exploiters, which is Britain. Now, those who will now be deprived of being into power, the only thing they do when they have opportunity to be there, they will say, I don't know, opportunity come but once. This is what they will tell themselves. Opportunity come but once. I have to utilize this one. I don't know when it's going to come again. Let me loot the country to 0. Because I don't know when this opportunity is coming back again. It is like when you are so hungry, you are so hungry, and you are given a big portion of food. If you eat it because you've been hungry, you will try to digest it so quickly without knowing that it can even kill you. It can even kill you. So when you are so hungry, you have not that, skills to be in leadership position because you've been deprived of all these things for very many years, and you are placed in abject poverty, when you see the opportunity to go there, because first of all, before you become a Nigeria president or African leader, you need to be a gangster first. Either you are a sellout, or you are a gangster, or you are a killer or a criminal. You must possess one of these evil quality before you ascend to the that throne of leadership position. So that when you go there, you have to loot without being apologetic, without even conscience. You have to do anything you have to do without even a second thought, because you are already an evil person. And if you are a good man, you will never make it to the position of leadership. In Africa, I believe in Africa, not only in Nigeria, but Nigeria, one as a giant of Africa, is the worst of them all. Worst of them all. That is the reason why you see the gangster controlling the narrative of what happens in the court, changing everything to work against an innocent person. Now, the last but not the least, I've told you that the things that is plaguing you in the zoo, lack of political willingness to actually make the law and order to uphold. Lack of political willingness to actually make the country to grow. Now, they are talking about the money. Look at how Nigeria is so, shameless. Very, very shameless, that you don't even know how to qualify them, what adjective you can use to qualify their shamelessness. Look at it. Nigeria inflation rate is 20.77%. This morning it was reported that dollar has naira is gone up to 800 per $1. 800 naira per $1 under the regime of the one Obama suggested for you people. Now, having seen all that, they are not trying to see to any possible solution or potential solution, at least, to actually bring down the inflation rate, or to bring down this death rate, to bring down the dollar rate. They are not doing it. The only thing they think about, or they have deemed necessary, it is to actually redesign that worthless currency. That is the only thing they have seen very necessary, to the extent that they actually went and put Ojukwu in a bogus 5,000 naira note. In a bogus 5,000 naira note. Is that not an insult of the highest order? If you are from the East, you're supposed to come, this is a manipulative means of telling you, we are doing it. They have some of you who reason from your anus will say, no, they have put Ojukwu. It means they are now trying to bring equity. They are now doing this. They have realized there is nothing they have realized. It is a form of manipulating you in order to send you back where you are trying to come out from, which is captivity. That is the reason why they have to place Ojukwu. You are not ashamed of yourself. British that created you, what is their biggest currency? British that created the currency, the structure that you are using, what is their biggest currency? Is it 5,000 naira? Is it 5,000 pounds? No, it is not 5,000 pounds. What is their biggest currency? Somebody who knows in that comment section, you can actually tell us, because the most important thing is that You as an individual, you should understand that the same Britain who created the same the same structure that you are using, they do not have 500 pounds notes. They do not have 200 pounds notes. British do not have 5,000 pounds note or 1,000 pounds note. Now you are having up to 5,000 naira notes. 5,000 naira notes. That is the amount of your currency that downgrading. Your currency is actually going through a very, very rough patch. Very soon you might not be having a currency in Nigeria again. You will not be having a currency in Nigeria again, because you yourself, I believe Britain themselves, they could see that you are a failure and you will continue to work according to their projection. In Britain, they have 50 pounds. In Nigeria, you have 5,000 naira. One note. One note. Then people will come and tell you Nigeria no they carry last. Nigeria no they carry last. They know the shame. Shame no they catch them. Redesigning of Naira is your problem. Instead of fighting to bring down inflation rate, which will make people to start buying food more cheaper, you do not work on that aspect. You are, you are not fighting to actually bring down the debt rate. You owe $100 billion as a debt. As a debt, which you are going to leave for the so-called new presidents that is coming in. They are not working, doing anything to actually bring it down, the debt. No, they are looking forward to borrow again. That is exactly what you are seeing. There is no political will. All they do is that you see this redesigning of Naira. It is another means of embezzlement, another means of stealing money. Because when they do their budget, they will tell you, or their audit, they will tell you they spend billions of Naira or billions of dollars to redesign your Naira. Why do you have to redesign your currency? Of course, it is zoo. Instead of facing a challenge that is critical, you are leaving it behind, facing things that are not even a challenge at all. That's what they do. You look at these people, you look at people like me, who is decolonized, who is consciousness awoken, and you want me to tell myself or my children that I came from this place, that they cannot even fight to actually bring down their inflation rate. They are redesigning their currency. They cannot fight to gain more power in their money, that it is 100, 800 naira per $1. $1. British pounds, it must be maybe 1,500 or 1,000 something. 1 British pounds. So they cannot fight to bring these things down, but they are redesigning the Naira. Redesigning Naira, please. I don't know, maybe the people who are advising this zoological republic is advising them, when you design Naira, it will bring down your debt that you are owing, or it will make the dollar to lose weight next to Naira, or it will actually bring down your inflation rate. Is it, who is advising this, Nigeria? Because you have to spend money to redesign Naira. Aren't you gonna spend money to do so? You are. Instead of servicing your debt, instead of actually investing in your GDP to see if you will be able to curb this problem of food inflation, problem of your, recession. Nigeria is on recession. Nigeria is on recession, but they did not tell you. They didn't tell you. A failed state. Who cares about them? Now, where is the last one? I am leaving it here with UCHE MEFOR. What, he was actually the nonsense he was yapping with his mouth. Because even UCHE MEFOR have seen that the autopilot infiltrators that they have been supporting could not deliver. That is the reason why he is now coming also, instead of telling Autopilot directly, because of course you know that those that joined Autopilot, those that started the Autopilot, those that were behind them, all of them have seen that Autopilot, the criminal that is promoting Autopilot, is all about money, that he does not even want to share that money with anybody. That is the reason why he keeps his eyes on the fundraising. Raising fund every day without you people asking him, where does this money go? That is exactly what he does every day. UCHE MEFOR now come out here to talk rubbish. Instead of directing his message to Autopilot, his Autopilot that he was, promoting. Just one moment. Let me see if these people playing with our I can assure you there are things that this guy said here that's supposed to make sense, but because his activities, and him being so stupid, it ended up not making sense. Let us listen to him.
Right. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening, fellow dads. We don't care whatever anybody wants to say. Following the other video that I dropped the other day, that was over the weekend, I want to elaborate more and even reinforce what I've said. And that was relating to those who are going about telling you that Biafra is going to be restored in 2023.
Now, this is exactly where I want you to think about his cohort Autopilot, that is going about telling you Biafra will be restored in 2023, which is some question some, people who have their brain in order supposed to be asking. Biafra will come 2023. It is just like that. Biafra comes after raising fund. Raise fund, make noise on the media, go to club, tell you, lie to you, he's on a meeting upon meeting, and the 2023 Biafra will come, or counting days, 110 days, 120 days, 100 days. That is how you are going to get Biafra. The reason why all these people now are coming out to speak is because what they have groomed is actually now, haunting all of them. That is the reason why they have come out to speak. The things that they have groomed, especially this de facto, idiots whom commanded our people to go and die, and at the end of the day, he tell you he want to join politics. Now, there are things he spoke about that politics which he's been clamoring for, which sounded as if it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense. Listen and listen attentively, because when he is addressing those criminals that they have groomed in the name of Autopilot, listen to what he says here.
I want to re-emphasize that every permutation, everything on the ground suggests that anybody who is telling you that Biafra is coming in 2023 must be hallucinating. The person must be deceiving him or herself, because in the real sense and in reality, these people telling you that Biafra is coming in 2023 are the same people who have taken steps deliberately to criminalize the Biafra restoration project. They go about killing, beheading, maiming, torturing fellow innocent Onani.
Now the question is, if UCHE MEFOR was not part of that project, why did he not come all this while to tell you that the people... Remember, Azuka, Oyibo, Nelly, all of them now have turned against Simon Onyoshi. They have turned against him. Why? Because they saw that his eyes is on the money more than every one of them. That he's only doing things to favor himself, not to favor all of them in their syndicates. In all of them that came to destroy the project that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is anchoring, they have seen it. That is the reason why they will come out from their shells and start acting like they have been right all along. These are criminals, birds of the same feather. They flock together. Listen and listen attentively. Because what he's saying here, it made sense a little bit. But pay attention.
Biafrans, and especially Igbo Biafrans, spilling their blood on the streets of...
All of you, Biafra, one by one, will come and confess.
Specifically in Igbo land. It is an abomination. It is an atrocity to many. It is a sacrilege. It is the desecration of our life.
You see this MEFOR? Obidio Obienu, the one that call himself Rabbit Charles, and all of them, they've been backing up this Eperima who live in Finland, who they saying he kills. Now they are realizing it. They are realizing it. The ones that even, promoting his radio nonsense, they are now realizing it. They are now talking. Hi. What goes around will always come back around.
And the people who are embarked on all this, think that is how life is.
Using Biafra struggle.
That's not how life is.
Using Biafra struggle as a career. That is the reason why this time around they're raising fund every two days or every one week. This time around, raising as much as they can. What do they use it to do? To lie to you. Biafra will come next year. That is the reason why some of these people in Liverpool who are compromised, keep writing junk on Twitter. Tomorrow, some of you will claim you don't know what we are talking about. You know, I ask you, this is the same person that is going to give you Biafra. You want Biafra, all you want is your freedom. All of you, you know, I am actually watching and following up with you guys. You know, but time will tell. Time will tell. But for now, let's reserve sentiment. This is the man who will give you Biafra. That is how you are going to get Biafra. Some myopic species among us who does not understand the type of freedom we are fighting or what we are doing, they believe Biafra is something that you will just make noise on social media, raise fund, go and groom criminals, kill one another. It will give you Biafra. Some sophisticated, in fact, they are not even sophisticated. These are morons. These are morons. You don't know that Nigeria got freedom from Britain. Have you forgotten? Nigeria got freedom from Britain in 1960. Did they not? What type of freedom? Robotic freedom. So when you are making your utterances, talking rubbish, you know what you are talking, know what you are calling for yourself. Allow those who knows how to get freedom to go out there. Allow those who are decolonized to go out there. Allow those who knows how to pilot the affairs that concerns freedom to go out there to fight for freedom. Not those who are just being moved by money because they have made their Biafra agitation a career. Number two, because if there is no money that they are getting, they will never be where they are today. That is exactly what you are supporting, and you continue to say they will give you Biafra. If you see our problem, it is coming from us. In as much as we are calling these governors, politicians, you should also search yourself deep down your heart. What is it that is your problem? Search yourself. How myopic you have become. How weak you have become in your brain to reason. Search yourself. Continue to listen to this man who commanded people to go and die. After that, he derailed.
And there are consequences as to that. If you like, kill, destroy, maim our people, there is consequences.
Of course, there is consequences. There is consequences even to those who are supporting them.
You know, at the appropriate time. And now let me say this. Let me even elaborate on what I've said before. For Biafra to be restored, a number of things have to be done, because the Biafra restoration project has been dented beyond imagination. And as a result, a lot of effort must be put in place to make sure that that dented image of Biafra restoration is restored, rectified, and then
who dented the image? And it is not Biafra restoration that we are part of that is dented image. You are a coward, Uchemo, for you are a coward. Who dented the image? The group of cabals that you are part of. Those are the ones who dented the image of what you are fighting for, not what we are fighting for. And he also make a reference with Hamas, rubbish human being. I want you to understand that this guy here, this guy you see here, is the man whom decided to leave his people behind for his own selfish purpose. If he did indeed knew that he knows what he was doing, why do you have to betray your people? Why do you have to actually drop your people to go and start chasing a shadow? If you knew what you are doing, you saw that your calling, your activities, under your watch, people have died. You're supposed to stay and make sure that we achieve this thing we are fighting for. You cannot be a follower and decide to dictate for the person who is your leader. That has been the problem. You want to change a narrative when people were there dying, when Biafra restoration was not, was there decaying. You did not rise up. A man rose up. Now you want to come and act as people who are more informed than others. That has been your problem. You champion the religious of people, other people. You want to champion it more than you looking for your history and understanding your origin and the way you're supposed to be calling on your Chi, on your Chukwu Okike Abiama, God who created heaven and earth. You decide to continue to promote and adopt the way that those your oppressors gave to you, which made you to be oppressed and made them to be oppressors. Because they rose above you. The rise of white supremacy is being able to convert your savior to become themselves, and they make themselves God. Like I said before, that you need to continue to pray to them. They decide to answer or not. You pray and you worship what you knew nothing about. It made you to live. Now you are coming to talk rubbish. Medicine after death. UCHE, for you are a coward. That's all I could tell you. You are a coward. You are part of those who have killed our people. Because if you kill our people, in the name you are commanding them at their command, they are at your command. At the end of the day, you derail. There is no Nigeria government that is worse than you. You are all in the same WhatsApp group. So regardless of what you say here or what you come to say, it doesn't make sense. The fact that you have derailed, the fact that you are not decolonized and you want to fight for freedom, it is going to continue to haunt you. That is the reason why you people in organized crime, organized criminals, organized yourselves to bring Autopilot to make sure to see if you will ruin this legacy of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu because he did not agree to be compromised like you. That's exactly what the case is. I am having a call and I am going to take that call. The caller, are you calling for the program? Mariam? Okay, please go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, my brother, I just bumped into you a few minutes ago. I've been watching. I went in and came out. Now, listen, I just have one or two things to say. I'm not saying much today. How are you doing, Judge Bonnie? Thank you for great work, especially today. You're one of the few that have been online. I appreciate you all highly, even though that we're not able to make it. I thank my fellow Biafrans. I thank Maazi. I continue to pray for Maazi Ohamadike. He's going to come out soon. I just want to reassure us, whether they like it or not, it's already settled in the spiritual realm, but there's nothing anybody can do.
Yes.
I just want to appreciate our captain at the moment, who has been steering the ship, even when the ship hit the iceberg, even when the ocean was so rocky. He brilliantly maneuvered it with his crew members, and they were able to bring it to a settled water, steady water, and that's where we are now. Our ship is about to be land, Gabata land, a dock, I meant to say. The ship of Biafra is about to dock. I want us to know that. So I want to highly appreciate Mazi Edozia's wisdom, his tenacity, his steady hands with all the DOS and all of us, those who are commenting online, those who are asking every one of us. I want us to reassure that very soon we're going to sing that real victory song. Now, quickly, what I wanted to bring in, what the little area I watch is this. I want us to know, or I want us to believe, that's the better phrasing. I want us to believe that the zoo think what they're doing or what they started doing through Malami continue to hold our Hamad. My name's Maria Heather. Sorry. My name's Maria Heather. I know most of you know my voice, but I can't be rude. My name's Maria Heather. I'm speaking from United States right now. So what I was saying, what they are doing, the zoo government is doing through Malami as their, as the weapon they are using, continue to hold our Hamadike even after the court, their own court gave a verdict that he should be discharged, and no other court in that Nigerian jurisdiction should ever attempt to try him because they violated the fundamental rules and regulations that govern every judicial system, which is extraordinary rendition. What does that mean? You cannot come to equity with unclean hands. What does it mean? You cannot violate or be a criminal or wanted, and then you come to seeking for justice. It's never done anywhere. So I want us to understand that that's what it means. That is why the extraordinary rendition is a heavy big blow and blockade for them. They can't do anything. And that is why you see people like Chief Wazurika coming to act like he's having a change of mind. I don't trust those people. So moving forward, I want us to know that what they're doing, they're digging their grave even more. They're making it more difficult for them. Now you can see some people are even beginning to speak. People who are not even, who do not even support IPOB or the agitation, they're coming out to say, oh, this thing looks like a personal vendetta. Yeah. What has this young man done? You have Boko Haram running around everywhere. Nobody's doing anything. What is it? What is the beef you have against this young man? So the voices will continue to rise as they continue to do that. And they continue to agitate and ruffle feathers, which is going to come against them. But from my own perspective, the way I look at it, what they're doing is bringing Biafra quicker and faster. I want us to understand that and go and write it down somewhere because that's what is going to happen. Yeah. Because let me give us this scenario. The scenario I'm going to give is this. If Mazi was released that day as the appeal court handed over the judgment, which was fair, right, and accurate, what would have been happening now? There wouldn't have been any uproar. These people that are coming out to speak will not come out to speak. In fact, they will see that justice is being done, so you people go and shut up and quiet. That would have been the attitude of some people. But as they continue to hold Mazi, what they're doing, they're creating more enemies to themselves. Even those who have empathy for them or sympathy are now beginning to look deeper and beginning to realize what Mazi has been saying, what IPOB has been championing, that we have been marginalized, we have been targeted, especially the Igbos. We have been targeted as a particular tribe that must be eliminated. If they cannot eliminate us, at least subjugate us and bring us to nothing, systematically destroy who we are. It's becoming obvious to everybody. Because you have a whole nation where terrorists are running around loose. You are not concentrating on them. And somebody who has not even picked an arm did not even do anything to you. You're holding him, claiming that he's a terrorist risk. Excuse you? People may be dumb, but they're not that dumb. Okay? So that is why one must understand that God's hand is squarely on this thing. Again, I continue to tell people, history repeats itself. History will always repeat itself. Go by whether it's a spiritual history, religious history, or conventional history, they repeat themselves. They may come with little variations or some kind of variations, but it's the same thing. If Pharaoh, at the time he let Moses, the first time he said Moses should go with Israelites, they wouldn't have perished at the Red Sea. But after he did, I had a change of mind and began to chase them. They perished. That's what is coming to happen to Nigeria. Yeah. If they have left Mazi, they would have had some reputation left. They would have some legitimate or some strong argument to make.
Yeah.
Yes, we didn't do anything to these people. We are not targeting them. It's not a personal vendetta. It's not a particular. We are not trying to destroy this race. They could have made that argument, and some idiots will have bought into them, even though some of us who know the truth will not. But where they have driven themselves, they have themselves in a state of quagmire. What the Igbo adage calls Odudu Berenamo. They have weighed themselves there. Because if they hit this fly, they will bust their scrotum. If they allow this fly to stay there, it's going to bust their scrotum too. So that is where Nigeria has finally, brought themselves. And I'm somebody like me is happy. I know that Ahmadike will come out. All we have to continue to do is to continue to pray for him. The God that has brought him so far, selected him, set him on this mission, is more than able to bring him to full.
Are you there?
Yes, he is. I understand that. Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Is he going through some difficulty? Yeah, I know he is. But I know Maz even understands that the end is close. And he's going to come out more victorious, more than he even went in when he bargained it. So that's what is going on now. Now, UCHE MEFOR, the problem people like UCHE MEFOR has is what I call a crab, crabs, not a crab, crabs in a bucket mentality. You see some of these people like UCHE MEFOR, the problem they have is that they are not the one that piloted or initiated or came up with this vision of this particular group of people that are trying, because it's obvious to them that come what may, Mazi is coming out. Come what may, this particular IPO be led by Mazi Nandekano, it has been obvious to them that even though it's late for them, but even if they were able to destroy Mazi, this particular group of people are determined to bring to fruition the actualization of Biafra. They know that it's obvious to them, because if they were able to capture him, torture him, most likely he lost consciousness many times in Kenya. Somehow they got tired of him. Atakatelo brought him back to Nigeria, put him in solitary confinement for more than a year. Not too many people will survive it. Even with his previous heart condition he had, this man is still strong. Will come out in the court, have a smile on his face, looking at people. When I look at this man, I say, who in the world are you? They know they have failed. They know they can't destroy him. So what are they doing now? Shame will not allow them to come out and apologize. That is why somebody like this idiot is coming at UCHE MEFOR. I watch him and say, is that the person that calling UCHE MEFOR? This guy is worthless. So somebody like him, the problem they have is this crab mentality. Why is he not me? That is the one that is championing this. He regretted the actions of going out.
The same thing that he
regret
is doing.
Forever abandoning the project at the time he abandoned the project, because the people that deceived him made him to think that without him, the project was going to collapse or be tainted.
Yeah.
But he doesn't know that each and every one of us are replaceable. That is why I'm telling people, come in with your heart. Do not come and say, I'm doing it for Mazen Nandekano.
Yeah.
Do it is for you, it's for me, it's for my children, to my generation. It's not about Nandekano. Nandekano has carried his own mantle, his own job. By what? Coming out with the vision, initiating it, piloted it, did all the talking. That's his own job. Our own, each and every one of us has a calling for this project. He has, yes, we love him as a leader. We love him as somebody that had the vision, but we must love Biafra as the North Star. That's our destination. So people like him, they deceived him. They thought that if he leaves because of the position he thought he held, he was going to have a dent. But what did he find out? He found out that he made the biggest mistake. Those who are better than him, stronger than him, more focused, who believe more in the vision, came in and took over. So now he sees that he has lost everything. His name would have been written in the good book. Now his name is going to be written in the bad book. That's what he's dealing with. It's not him that is bringing this thing to bear. It's somebody else. That's one of the biggest problems we as Africans, especially we as Igbos, have. Why is it that somebody is doing it? Let me tell you, I'm going to stop. I said I'm not going to talk much. When I was a practicing Christian, you will go to church, you carry your cap, because I love hat. I have, when I was a practicing Christian, I am that kind of lady that walks any day you see me in church, I'm coming with my hat. I love hat. I'm a hat girl. So every time you come in, our people like to wear gele. Once in a while I wear gele, but my own is hat. You will carry your hat because I wore my hat and tilted it somehow. Somebody will be jealous somewhere. They have their own hat. Why is she wearing it this way? That's our people. Why is it my own not? Am I the one that coming up with the vision? That's my own creativity. So what I'm trying to say is this. That's the problem. Even these senators, even these are so-called elite. Why is like that quiet? Why are they not? Where is it that they're not the ones that came up with this vision that is going to bring the actualization of Biafra? Why is it not them? But they're not asking themselves, where were you when this young man conceived this idea, begin to dig? There's this thing that's showing sometimes the picture. Where Mazi, when he started, he had only a plastic table with 2 little microphones in a little booth. Nobody wants to remember that time. Nobody wants to remember that time when it started. What they're seeing now is community radio. What they're seeing at Radio Biafra, they're seeing people like you who have come in. But they forget to remember when this man was out there, trying to clear the bushes for this project to be established. But they want to come in and take a mantle or be the one that their name will be written. Just like the foolishness Ekwema is doing. That's why I'm very angry at him. So that's what they're dealing with. That's their anger. But it's already late. The train has left the station. And there's nothing anybody can do. Have a nice day, my dear brother. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So that is exactly what is going on. Why will it be Mazi? Why wouldn't it be him? You don't have that calling. You don't have that initiative. It has been there. It was there decaying. They didn't see it. That is the reason why the problem of our people, on a me here, on a me there, they go, you will not discover or you will not try to discover your own initiative or actually establish an initiative that is called yours. You just want to go to that place on a me. Let us go and destroy it. If you go there, another person see it, they come there. Another person see it, they come there. Before you know it, you start fighting, killing each other. If we can do it there, why can't I do it? Whether you like it or not, and Onyendu is here to stay. That has been the problem. That is the reason why some idiots is setting them up, telling you they are getting you Biafra 2023. What type of Biafra is that? What type of Biafra is that? Sitting in your room in Finland, talking on your laptop, going to club to drink, buy chana madbeu, come and lie to people. You are going to meeting upon meeting upon meeting. After that, you will tell them you are counting 128 days. You are getting them Biafra. Is that not somebody playing with your small dumb brain and you are not actually paying attention to it? Is it that easy? You think it is that easy? For those of you who are being carried away in that regard, don't be coward. Don't be idiots. Let us just listen to this idiot for some minutes, then we will call it a day. Because one thing you should know, when you become idiot in this struggle, you are a big idiot. You cannot toil with people's life and you just give it up. And you will come and start speaking from both sides of your mouth, acting as if you care when you don't give a damn. UCHE, you don't give a damn about anybody. If you can derail in this struggle, how far you followed our leader and you didn't understand him. Online and bullshit.
Let us go on a sound pedestal. First of all, the question anybody must be asking himself is, what is the legal basis for Biafra restoration? What is the legal basis? On what principle does self-determination anchor? Biafra restoration is sacrosanct. Biafra will come, but it is not this year, and it is not next year, 2023, because you must have to make adequate preparations. And what are those adequate preparations? There are a number of issues militating against the smooth restoration of Biafra, and which we have mentioned. The criminalization by the same people who claim to be at the forefront of restoring Biafra. When we are saying this, people think that we have any hatred for anyone. We don't. But we are saying it the way it is. Now, Biafra Restoration Project is anchored on human rights, civil liberties, and fundamental freedom. Our experience is unique, and therefore, our roadmap must be a unique one. Biafra has fought a war, devastating civil war, with pro-Nigerian forces, and millions of people have died. And as a result, a lot of things have happened, a lot of water has passed under the bridge. And there are things that our people are not looking at. The question is, why did Biafra fail, apart from the hatred that the Nigerian state has against the people of Biafra? First of all, whether we like it or not, Biafra is an adopted name for the former components of the old Eastern region. There is nothing wrong in a name. Any group of people can decide to answer any name that they like. And so, the people of Biafra, between 1967 and 1970, decided.
Let us leave it here. Biafra is adopted name. Of course, we know nothing is wrong with it. So you are not here to educate us. We have educated you, our people already. So those, there is something that just came in where Tinubu, when we are talking about those who respect the interest of their people, let me show you what's going on here. I want to show you something. I'm going to show you this from the phone. You see what you are watching here right now? What you are watching here right now. Why is this showing me? Now, you see what you are watching right? It is actually Tinubu. Let me actually play him his video. Because this thing is just. Pay attention. This is Tinubu singing Yoruba national anthem. How many of your aspirants has ever come to actually pretend as if they are singing Biafra national anthem? This is Tinubu singing Yoruba national anthem. Because all these people, they understand the meaning of Nkemu Nkemu na Zunafia. It is only you people who are coming from Biafra land that does not understand it. You don't understand it. That has been your problem. And that problem is what is consuming you. You believe you will be, conny. You use conny. I'm going to represent my people, but they should wait. They should act like I am not representing them. You use conny. You go into power. You are thinking that the people you are using conny, they are stupid. If you cannot stand up to defend your own people or defend your own, how then are you going to stand up to defend others? Message 2. The Igbo presidency. The Igbo presidency. Which one are there? Call for the release of Ohamadike. Call for the release of Ohamadike. Chai. Auna woke behal nakaye bili. Our people, you need to wake up. You need to wake up. It is time. We are going to get Biafra. And I have seen, and I am sure that is the reason why I joined. I did not join because I am just a regular person. I have seen the ring light. I have seen the ring light. I have seen the light in this movement that we are embarking upon. That is the reason why I joined personally. I joined because I know that it is going to happen. Omeronizu, Omenonwa. Is Biafra going to come? For sure, Biafra is going to come. Regardless of all this, all these people who are trying to distract us, to kill our spirit, they know that they cannot, they will not ever achieve what they are planning. Believe you me. Whether you want to become like, chameleon, when it comes to your own people, that is your business. But when Biafra comes, the whole world will know that we are indeed those people that God have selected to unify Africa. We are indeed those that Chukwu Okike Abiama has selected to wake up others. Because so many people who are in this struggle that got carried away by the activities of those who bring iron and place in their surroundings, who make their surroundings, furnish it with arụsị apịrị apị nke ndị ọcha butere ma nke ndị ala butere. They furnish their surroundings with it, using it to deceive you. You are getting carried away instead of understanding what we are embarking upon. It is not a child's play. It is not a game that we are embarking upon. It is reality. It is your freedom. And when somebody decides to toy with your freedom, you need to actually stand up and challenge them at all costs. Because what you are seeing today happening around this Biafra restoration It is something that is bound to happen. Remember, they have to divide you. They have to segregate you. They have to fight, find every possible means to actually destroy you. But when they fail, they will have no other choice than to actually succumb and adhere to your demands. Because the most important thing that you need is to remain focused. Make sure you are not deceived or misguided or misled. Continue carrying on. Don't be scared to speak. Don't be scared of death. They kill your flesh. They don't kill your spirit. You will come back to a greener pasture. That is the difference between those who die doing the good thing. When your name is written in the book of life, I don't think there is any other thing that is better than that. Every man is going to die. What you are going to be remembered for? What did you do? What killed you? What have you died for? That is what you are going to be remembered for. It is not being scared. Being scared is not going to take you anywhere. I want when my children rise up, even if I am no longer there, they will say, my father stood up. He spoke against the boogeyman. Very, very important. How do you plan to make difference for your unborn generation? So great, dear friends all over the world. We are going to leave it here. If you like, continue to deceive yourselves in the name that you are here to follow freedom while you are being here wasting your time. You can't deceive yourselves into getting freedom. You can't. The color. Yeah, I'm about to go. See too. Coming. Use 3 minutes, please.
All right, let me say one or two things. Okay.
Right. Go ahead.
Yes, Mazi, I hope I'm coming out clear now.
Loud and clear.
Thank you very much, my brother, Judge Money. I appreciate you so much for the good job that you are doing. I salute every IPOB that is working assiduously to make sure that Biafra is being restored. And then I salute to Hamadike. I said our ancestors guide and protect him. All the whole DOS and HOD, I am saluting all of you that you have done a great job not to allow yourself to fall apart in the absence of Onyendu. I salute all of you. Mazi, I want to say two things here. One is Wazurika and one is MEFOR. Let me tell them one thing. The reason why Fulanis today don't obey, more especially they don't respect us. All this while we have seen it. If Martin Namdekano did not come out, believe you me, all of us will think that Nigeria is our home. You see, when this statement of Wazurika, I said I still call him Ugumagla. You know why I call him Ugumagla?
That's what he is. That's what he is.
If this guy, of course, let's nobody praise him. You know why? Nobody should praise him. If this guy, all these things they are doing, if anything that happen to their brother in Igbo land, any Biafrans at all, is their own people, Ndi Igbo, they will come out and start criticizing their own brother. They will start coming out and sell their own brother. Wazurika has been selling Mazin Namdekano all this while. You know, these Fulanis, they capitulate with what you say, in what they watch our elders in the movement of our elders, in the movement of our people. That is what they capitulate on. You will see them coming out since Mazi was kidnapped. Even before Mazi was kidnapped, Wazurika was making some utterance, saying he knows, if he thinks he don't know where he sleeps, how he eats. The video is there. He's been making a lot of rubbish noise. But he knows where. Wazurika even, Mazi, you know, we cannot succumb in all this their rubbish. We cannot.
Of course.
Because they are good in killing their own brothers. You know, Fulanis, they allow our people to bring their own brother to be killing on social media. When you kill your own people on social media, that is what the Fulanis want. If the Sismas was kidnapped, they all come out and say, why? Keep stopping, condemning their own brother. All these people will be knowing that, these people are beginning to change. But instead of that, they keep killing their own brother. Look at UCHE that we pay. UCHE is an imbecile. This UCHE is Syria. If you see him in person, if you see UCHE in person, you throw away speed. This Fulani blood, this UCHE, if you see him in person, you vomit. This bastard. You know, that thing that he knows. UCHE, he has seen the nose knotted. IPOB trained that bastard. IPOB. Sorry to say it to your platform, but IPOB trained that idiot that kill other the killing of our people. He came and started saying, Mazi, you see that UCHE, you don't bring out his speech, the rubbish he was talking now. You know why? The autopilot have failed. They have failed. That is why you see him coming out. They will become, very soon now you will see Lai Mohammed. Has he been hearing from Lai Mohammed all this while?
No.
Now, what Lai Mohammed will come out and make, Lai Mohammed before is on our neck now. But since Mazi was kidnapped, you hear from Lai Mohammed again, they have said no, he will come out. Very soon you will see them being coming out because they are criminal gang, they plot in IPOB before they kidnap Onion, have failed them. So they will come out and keep talking. Didn't our people know that there is no Biafra in 2023? Must we therefore come out and tell them? Because yes, don't you know that anybody that told you that Biafra will come 2023 is a criminal? Don't you know? Our people, because this is not our people. These are a bunch of idiot criminals that hate Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. These are the people, some of them that expelled. Is it not an irony that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu went to America to solicit how we can, go to this Igbo World Congress? These mad people, Nata Boga in America, World Igbo Congress, speak to them. Look at what is about to come. Learn what is about to come. This is the time we start putting our house together. Some people say to him, one idiot here to us, you in America there. He said, from the time I know you come from, which passport did you come with? That idiot cannot come to Biafra land now again. He can't come. He is asking Mazi, which passport did you come with? Okoko, that is how our people reason. That is how they reason. That is why they cannot travel from Abuja now to their house. They can't go by road. They can't go because these are cowards that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu went and meet. Do you know what they did? Instead of them to channel their energy to their brother and stand by him, what they did is immediately they kidnapped him. Some of these Igbo group are start forming this Ebrema. That is what they were doing. Some of these Igbo groups in America and they start forming this autopilot. That is what they were doing. And at the end of the day, what happened? They have failed. This idiot. I want to ask people to ask this idiot. What about the file, the CV he asked his people to submit? These idiots. These zombies that follow him. What about the CV he asked them to submit? Have they finished submitting it?
What about the aircraft, the fighter jet you told them that he's going to buy? You know, when I look at this boy sometimes, when I look at our people, I just ask her, Naju, what is really wrong with our people? What is really wrong with Tibo? Somebody is telling you that he's going to buy fighter jets. He's telling you that he's going to buy air defense system. Air defense system.
Be careful, my
he
brother.
told you that he's going to. He solicited £10,000 on social media. You know, Mazi, let me leave it here because you know if I start saying today, but I love what is happening today. My anger, look at my anger. Why I said that if Samanapa get away with this is crime against IPOB and our people, believe you me, any day I die, I won't be happy. I'm telling you now, for Biafrans to understand it, if Samanapa go closer to me, I'm because you know why? This guy, the absence of Mazin Namdekan, he came out on social media. Let me tell our people. The plan of DOS was to checkmate Biafra land in the absence of Mazen Namdekan. Checkmate all these Boko Haram in Nigerian uniform, push them out in our border, drive them away, and Biafra land will be safe. That was their job. ESN will be doing their own job in the bush. The ones that will be our intelligence will be there, giving them report, and then Biafra land will be safe. We will checkmate these terrorists. Drag them out in Biafra land. Drag them out. Our people will remain safe. This guy now come take advantage because Mazi was kidnapped. Coming up in social media, DOS is criminal. DOS sell Mazi Namdekan and so may feel to buy this thing. He gets our people divided in Biafra land. Our people fall victim. Many of our people die because of what this guy was dishing out in social media. And you and I know it's lie. People know it's lie. DOS and HOD did not sell Mazi Namdekan. He dished that propaganda. Our people went and died, deviated. ESN is fighting double job. Are they fighting to rescue their name, or are they fighting to get away from Sabotua so that Sabotua will not know where they are? He deceived many people. So many people died. This guy is in Finland drinking champagne, and our people is dying. He will send them to go and be killing their own brothers. Some of them are these all manner of things. I just want one day. So that our DOS just open up for our people what can never cost in our land. Let our people hear it.
My brother, people, you know, to open up for these people, they are not yet ready. These people are not yet ready even to know what's up. These people are cowards.
You know, that is why I said that Samanapa will never get away with his atrocity.
Of course he wouldn't.
Mazen Namdekano took his time to arrange our people. Our people was speaking in one voice. And when I see our people speaking in one voice, that gives me joy. Mazi was making our people start speaking in one voice. And I was happy. And this guy came out from nowhere. Start, you know, revising everything, lying against the people that Mazi left the job to do. Lying. What do you want them to do? What do you want them to do when he came lying against them? DOS is not meant to come to social media. DOS and HOD are not social media people. That is why you people are there. That is why I was crying for you to be coming out all the time. Methuselah is there. Ikenga is there. Atarigo is there. SA is there. Name them. Paul is there. Their franchise was there. When I come out and see all of you, I know that at least some of our people are beginning to reason. Because I know that DOS are not meant to come to social media. That is not their job. It's because these people are the people who make law for Mazin Namdekano. Because of the absence of Mazin Namdekano, they have no choice to come out. Even Mazin Namdekano is supposed not to be hearing his voice. It's because of I want to hear me. That is why this guy took advantage and start cursing this man. He doesn't even know who Chira Sanworu is. He doesn't even know he now start calling them name, calling them criminal, which is lie. This is our manner of lies against this man, convincing our people. Our people were dying left and right because of Samaneba. Mazi, thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Great Biafrans all over the world, lovers of freedom. We are going to be bringing it to the end because what has a beginning will always have an end. So it is time to to call it a day. Until we meet again, share this video. If you are watching on Twitter at JUDlC, retweet and follow that Twitter page. If you are watching on Facebook at JUDmoney blog, at JUDmoney's blog/TV, at JUDmoney blog, at JUDmoney official rather. Share the video, follow the page, and don't forget to leave your comments in that comment section, because your comments also call us up on, on the matters that we have actually forgotten. Just to double check if we actually treated all the matters that we have today. Yes, we did. We did. So we are calling it a day, but don't let go. Don't forget, Biafra is a step away. We are going to get our freedom. What God does not know does not happen. The most important thing is that what we are doing, it is what we should be doing. We are not going to leave any stone unturned. We are not going to try to maneuver anything. We want our freedom. We do not want robotic freedom. We want our independent, absolutely independent. That is what we are looking for. We don't want bogus, we don't want all this, rubbish that they have given so many people in Africa. We want independence. That is the reason why Nnamdi Kanu continue to tell you that we're going to liberate Africa. And we will work with the Pan-African movement in the unification of Africa. But after we must have restored our dignity, after we must have gathered the 12 lost tribes of the house of Jacob, we will now support the unification of Africa. But we need to, first of all, do the needful, which is, due diligence, by destroying every structure that is not created by Chukwu Kabiama. That is the reason why he is Chukwu Kabiama. We are going to actually uproot every structure that is not built by him. We need to go back to the status quo. Then from there, we are now going to become the nation, independent nation, just like the way Chukwu Kabiama gave to us to be. We choose our friends and we choose our allies. And we now teach the world that we are being, obscured from exercising our talents and our gifts, are actually discharging our talents and our gifts by showing the world how we can build a nation called Biafra in African continent that will make a difference, that will stir up the consciousness of every other African nation, that they may come, they will learn, they will know that indeed Chukwu Kabiama is the God, the creator of heaven and earth, not the God that, from Britain, not the God from the West, not the God from the USA, that you have been praying to, believing that you are praying to the God of creator. You are praying to God of white supremacy. So now we will restore that relationship. We will call him God. He will call us children. Until then, let us remind the world that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must be released.
Mazi Nnamdi Kanu a British national and political activist who was traveling on a British passport when he was kidnapped and tortured in Kenya for 8 days by Kenyan and Nigerian government-sponsored criminals. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was renditioned to Nigeria on a government-chartered flight without extradition process. Nigerian government continues to hold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu captive under severe torture, treating him worse than a condemned criminal. In spite of all the protests around the world condemning extraordinary rendition of this great eloquent political activist and demanding for his release, Boris Johnson's British government continues to do nothing and says nothing to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is a British citizen and who is being tortured to death by the Islamist fundamentalist-controlled government of Nigeria. The questions now are: what does Boris Johnson's British government know about the planned kidnapping, torture, and rendition of this British citizen in the hands of the Islamist fundamentalist-controlled Nigerian government? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is neither a criminal nor a wanted person in the civilized world. Why is Boris Johnson's British government romanticizing with this Islamist fundamentalist-controlled Nigerian government who are sponsoring terrorism around the world? Why is the British High Commissioner to Nigeria, Miss Katrina Liang, romanticizing holding hands and taking photos with the terrorists who are holding her own British citizen captive unlawfully? If Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is to be a white British citizen, would he be abandoned to die in a foreign country for committing no crime? The answer is no. For asking for the freedom of Biafran people in Nigeria, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has committed no crime known to law. For practicing Judaism, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has committed no crime known to law. Calling on the world leaders to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu now to avoid the dire consequences if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is killed by Nigerian government and her accomplices. Free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu now. Let Biafra go. What the Almighty God cannot do does not exist. This message is supported by the human rights advocates.
What the Almighty God cannot do does not exist. Until we meet again. Bye for now.
Land of the rising sun, we love and cherish, beloved homeland of our brave heroes. We must defend our lives, or we shall perish. We shall protect our hearts from all our foes. But if the prize is death for all we hold dear, then let us die without a shred of fear. Held to Biafra, consecrated nation, oh fatherland, peace be our solemn place. Defending thee shall be our dedication, spilling our blood
I thought of Biafra freedom taking longer, and cause of that you tend to feel so low. I know our freedom is your greatest hunger. I thought of Biafra keeps your heart aglow. We will walk the line, this year that we've known with time. Gotta take it away. Just hold on and don't let go. Hold on, do not let go. Just hold on and don't let go. Your flight's just a step away. Just hold on. Oh, hold on, do not let go. Just hold on and don't let go. Your flight's just a step away. Our history has never known no laughter. It's always been this red and black, no green. A nation of displaced yet hungry people. We shine a brighter light, the world will see. We will touch the skies and set up a throne on high and reign with our God. Just hold on.